time I close my eyes, every time I close my time I close my eyes.
Yes, guys, big up to everyone. Welcome to join it. Welcome. So we got some obviously breaking news before I went live today. We all know about it. We'll go talk about it in a minute as well. But yeah, big up to everyone in the chat. Hope you're all doing well. Please hit that like button as you come in, guys. I would appreciate it. And obviously subscribe. Share the video around as well on your socials, guys. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, obviously we've got some news. So there's two bits of news to bring you straight away, guys. So I've got good news and bad news. What one do you want first? Do you want the good news or the bad news first? What do you want, guys? What do you want? Let me know. Do you want good news first or bad news? What should we do? Let me know in the chat. Big up Knightley, how you doing? Big up Ravi, big up K, Chelsea OG, Amaya, how you doing? Upper tier, Vic, Bailey. Big up everyone in the chat. All right, the bad news. So obviously the bad news, yeah. So the bad news, as we know, Bobby Firmino, Bobster, is leaving Liverpool Football Club. It's a sad day. You know, it's come out this morning. I think, is it Florian Plettenberg has been talking about it. So apparently Liverpool have been reacting to the latest claims that are about Firmino's future. The red striker is currently set to have his contract expire at the end of the season. Talks have been apparently going on in the background in recent months, but there has never been no signs of an agreement between the two parties. Now, a new account has come from Sky Germany, reporter Florian Plettenberg, that the report states that Firmino will leave at the end of the season as a free agent. And the tweet goes, an exclusive news, Firmino, he will leave Liverpool after 8 years. It's decided. The player has informed Klopp personally, and today he has a good talk. He won't extend his contract. He will leave the club as a free agent in the summer. So this one hurts the most. I ain't gonna lie. This one hurts the most. This one hurts the most. Big up to Ian in the chat as well. Big up to everyone, Trudon. This one does hurt the most. Look, when Salah left, Salah ain't left yet. When Salah does leave. When Mane left, I was like, yeah, I was down about it. But this one, when Wijnaldum left, I was like, yeah, okay. But this one hurts the most, man. This one hurts the most. I love Bobby. He's been the main servant of our football club. The main reason we've been successful. You can't put something down to Bobby. You know, he is the system. As Jurgen Klopp says, Bobby Firmino is the system. And that system is leaving this football club. I've been saying it as well for a while now on this channel, and everyone argues with me. It looked like Gakpo is the Bobby replacement. You know, he's been playing false nine since he came to Liverpool. I've been saying for a while now, it looks like Liverpool are experimenting with something with Gakpo, that if they could keep Bobby, they'd keep him. But I've been saying, like, they're experimenting with him in that number 9 position, and it looks like it was for a reason. And it was if Gakpo left. It was if Gakpo left. So, yeah, it's a killer. But for me, it's the right time. For me, it's the right time for Gakpo to go. For me, for Gakpo to go, for Bobby to go. For me, it's the right time for Bobby to go. He's been a great servant to our football club, 8 years, but giving him a 2.5-year deal when he's going to be down in the pecking order, and probably won't be playing too much, it don't make a lot of sense for him or for the football club. So it is the right time for Bobby to leave. Much love to Bobby. I hope whoever gets him, they better look after him. That's all I'm saying. Whoever gets Bobby, you better bloody look after him. That's all I'm saying right there. Big up, Maisie. Thank you very much for having me on your channel yesterday. I do appreciate it. It was a great show. Guys, go and subscribe to Devils United. I was on her show last night, and we had a good preview. So make sure you go and check her out. Big up, people in distress. How you doing, man? I love you. Gatco never touched their Bobby did. I agree, Scraps. Nowhere near. I do agree. Absolutely. Right, that's the bad news, guys. Do you want the good news? So here's the good news. Jurgen Klopp today said Joe Gomez isn't fit to play Man United. So that's the good news. That might be a bit harsh. That might be a bit harsh, but I went now. I went now. So yeah, Gomez isn't fit and available to play against Man United. So in a way, that is good news. But yeah, if you are a Gomez fan, I do apologise. But yeah, I don't want him playing for my football club. You got other transfer. Well, go get all the transfer news. I know I've got Mason Mount on the thumb now. We are going to talk about Mason Mount because there is an increasing likely that Liverpool will try and sign Mason Mount. It looks like his Chelsea career is over. It looks like Mason Mount is leaving Chelsea. So Liverpool are very high on him. Very high on him. This is going to break the fan base, the audience, whatever. I like Mason Mount. I think he's a good footballer. And I think in Jurgen Klopp's system, I think Mason Mount actually be a very good player for us. But we'll get to that in a minute. We've got other news to chat about as well. Obviously, the Barcelona stuff as well. Barcelona will go for a transfer embargo put on them if they can't raise £178 million. I think they've got to sell 178 million's worth of talent out of their team or something, or they're going to get a transfer embargo. Why are they allowed to have the chance? That's what I want to know. Why are Barcelona allowed to have the chance to have to sell so many assets before, and then they get? Why are they not just getting transfer embargoed straight away? Why do they get to let off a little bit? So they got to get rid of a lot of talent. If they get a transfer embargo, Barcelona, they're stuffed. They've got a crap team now. You know, if they can't buy players next season, they're in trouble. Also, that means they've got to sell their best players. So Frankie de Jong, yeah, he's off. You know, he's one of their most prized assets. Frankie de Jong will be off. A lot of other players as well will be saying goodbye, I would expect. Yeah, it's not great for Barcelona if you're a Barcelona fan, but yeah, Barcelona have got a lot of issues. There's also the N'Golo Kante rumours circulating right now. So apparently Liverpool are very, very interested in N'Golo Kante. It's going to be a free transfer at the end of the season. He, again, with Mason Mount, looks to be set to be leaving Chelsea. Could Liverpool go in there in a double swoop? Could Liverpool really go in there and pick up N'Golo Kante and Mason Mount in the summer? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. With the Kante one, if he weren't so injury prone, I'd be all over it. My problem with N'Golo Kante is that I think his legs are gone. So if that's the case, I wouldn't touch him. But if it was N'Golo Kante of a few years ago when he was free, I'd be like, yeah, it makes no sense. Like, go and get him. But for me, his legs are gone, so I wouldn't touch him. Wouldn't touch him. But Barcelona, look, Barcelona could be the place to go shopping. It could be the place to go shopping this summer. They've got to get rid of 178 million pounds worth of assets off their books. That means they've got to sell players. Um, it could be the place to go. There's players there, man. There's players there that we could go and buy. You got the Thuram news right now as well. So his club is saying that he's available for 29 million pounds. I think it's like 31 million euros that he's going to be available for 29 million pounds for Thuram from Nice. Now, for me, I've been saying about this transfer for a while. That makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. The that Thuram deal, 29 million. So dime. I've been saying it for a while. Everyone keeps telling me there's no steals out there no more. There's no like 20, 30, 40 million pound players that you can go and buy no more. You have to go and buy the 100 million, 80 million, 90 million pound players. I've been saying it for a while. There's loads out there. You just got to make sure you can get the deals done properly. You know, and he's available for 29 million pounds. I'll be all over that. Yeah, Kepa and Thuram. I'll be all over that for 29 million quid. All over it. I'll be all over that. It's a great bit of business. There is players out there we don't have to spend a load of money on. You heard you get in Bellingham 150. So look, the Bellingham thing, it looks like he's going to cost 150 million pounds, and Borussia Dortmund wants 70% of the payment up front. So that's a lot of money up front. I don't think Bellingham's going anywhere. I've been saying this for a while now. I'm not sure if Bellingham leaves Borussia Dortmund in the summer. Borussia Dortmund, I believe, can. There's a possibility Borussia Dortmund win their league. There is a massive possibility Borussia Dortmund win their league. Right? There's also a massive possibility that Borussia Dortmund knock out Chelsea in the Champions League as well. At the moment, why would he leave? I don't know. You know, Jude Bellingham's got a lot of time on his side. He doesn't need to go anywhere just yet. He's got a lot of time on his side. He can, what is he, 19? He's got so much time on his hands, man. He doesn't need to leave anywhere. And it all depends for the right player for him. Now, Real Madrid to Bellingham to Real Madrid, I'm not sure that would happen. The ones I'm looking at, so Man United, if I look at Man United, I think Man United are going to get Frankie de Jong in the summer. I think Frankie de Jong to Man United looks done now for me. The crisis Barcelona are in. They need to raise funds. Barcelona is a sinking ship right now. And Ten Hag wants Frankie de Jong. That's the player he wants. So Man United are going for Frankie de Jong. That's their main midfielder. The only other team is City, really, and Chelsea. Now, Chelsea would be the ones I'd be worried about the most. They'd be the ones I'm worried about the most because I think City have got other interests at hand for other midfield options they're looking at. But it's Chelsea the ones I'd be worried about the most because Chelsea are just going to spend. They're just going to spend. And if Borussia Dortmund won 150 million, I think Chelsea just pay it, man. I just think Chelsea. Go and buy him, even if they don't want that player. I just think the way Chelsea are doing the transfer market at the moment, especially under Todd Bowley, they're just going right. If Liverpool are desperately trying to get Bellingham, we're just going to buy him. It looks that kind of thing at the moment. Now they need a DM, obviously. They need a quality DM. It all depends. Look, Bellingham to Liverpool just makes the most sense. Liverpool and Bellingham just make the most sense because it's what Liverpool need the most. You know, Liverpool got 2 DMs at the club at the moment in Stefan Bajcetic and Fabinho. So that's not high on the radar for Liverpool right now. But we need a number 8. And it suits Liverpool down to the ground. I think Man City, obviously there's Man City people in the chat, big up Faisal and all that. I think what I've been reading is that Man City have got other targets in mind for that midfield area next season. So I don't think Bellingham works at Man City with Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think that works quite together, in my opinion. So I think City are looking at different players in that midfield area. Man United, if they're going for Frankie De Jong, I don't think they can't afford to buy Frankie De Jong and Bellingham. So I think they just buy Frankie De Jong in their midfield. Then Arsenal, maybe would they go for him? I'm not sure. They do have the money to spend, but again, for Arsenal, that would be one player. I think they got other players in mind as well. So yeah, I think it is down to Chelsea. I don't know why. I just think it is I think McAllister's going to Man City. I think McAllister at Brighton suits Man City down to the ground. I think Alexis McAllister, the way he plays, the technician of a footballer he is in that midfield area, I think he suits Man City down to the ground. So I wouldn't be surprised if Alexis McAllister goes to Man City in the summer. I wouldn't still be surprised if Brighton lose thingy to Chelsea as their DM as well. You know, that wouldn't surprise me. So then it leaves the Bellingham thing. And this is what I'm saying. Where does Bellingham go? Where does Bellingham go? I don't see Bellingham at City because of the Bruyne factor. I don't know if they could quite play together in an 11. I think they might get in each other's way quite a bit. They try and do similar roles sometimes. McAllister makes a lot of sense for them. Chelsea need a DM. Man United will probably get Frankie De Jong. So if you look at the market like that, and then it's up to Real Madrid what they want to do. But that's why I think he might stay. No, I think he might. I think he might stay. I have heard. So there's a big rumor going around right now that Messi might go to Man City in the summer. I don't know if you guys have heard this. So there's a big rumor going around right now that Leo Messi might think about going to Manchester City in the summer and finish his career at Manchester City in Europe anyway. That is one of the rumours right now because I believe his contract ends at PSG this season. If Messi's contract ends at PSG this season, obviously it's going to be a free transfer. I can see Messi going to Man City. Right, put it this way, guys. Can you imagine? I know everyone's don't worry about Messi's age and all that, yeah. Right? Can you imagine Messi going to Man City, right, and playing with De Bruyne behind Haaland under Pep Guardiola? That's mad. That'd be mad. Messi, De Bruyne playing in behind Haaland. That that would just like if you're a Man City fan, you must be thinking, yeah, and Ant says in Division 2. That could happen, you know. So there's strong rumours that happen because I think David Beckham's team in America are trying to get him as well. But I think Messi can still do it, man. I think Messi in the Premier League under Pep Guardiola playing behind a Haaland. Now, Haaland, can you imagine? Oh, Jesus Christ. Could you imagine they sort of play a front three, but like De Bruyne and Messi in behind Haaland. So they're not wide forwards. They're just sort of like playing, like he changes it to three at the back. So Pep could change this to three at the back and he could use his wing backs as the wide players, as the wingers. And then he plays a De Bruyne and a Messi behind Haaland. And then a McAllister and a Rodri as like a double pivot. I mean, that's just disgusting. That would just be disgusting. And obviously with the PSG owner under investigation at the moment, which we won't talk about because it's all alleged, but yeah, it's a madness. It's a madness. But yeah, so again, sad news that Bobby Firmino is leaving the football club. 8 years as a servant of our football club. Jurgen Klopp called him. Jurgen Klopp. What was it? Sorry, my whole thing went then. Jurgen Klopp called him the system. Kloppo called him the system. He was his system player. That's what Klopp called him. He was everything what was great about Liverpool when we was at our best. It's going to be a sad time when he goes, man. It's going to be a sad time, but it's the correct decision. Definitely the correct decision. Gakpo for me is the replacement. Look, I've been saying it for Liverpool. I played Gakpo in this false nine position for a reason. Now, if you look at the games recently, Jota plays out left. Darwin Núñez plays out left. I wouldn't say any of them are a better left winger than Gakpo, but Gakpo is playing that false nine role, and it's for a reason. I think they've been experimenting with something. I really do. I think Klopp and his team have been looking at Gakpo and looking at his build, his touch, his pace. The way he likes to drop deep naturally. See, Gakpo does drop deep naturally. It's not something he's having to learn. He naturally does it. Even when he plays on the left side, I was watching some old games with him at PSV when he was playing on the left side. He naturally drops quite deep. For the Dutch, he dropped quite deep. It's a natural thing he likes to do. He likes to pick up the ball in deep areas, and turn and run with it. That's what he likes. That's how he likes to play. And I think Liverpool looked at that and thought, let's try that in the number 9 position. So it's a whole experiment. I think in the back of their mind, they're thinking if Bobby leaves, let's see if Gakpo can do this position. And that's why we've been playing that way. Now, people will go, why did we buy Darwin in? Because Darwin's an out-and-out number 9. And I agree. Like, when you watch Darwin play, the reason that Darwin's very good on the left-hand side of the front three because he's got the pace and he's got the movement and mobility to play wider in a front three if you need to. A bit like Mane in a way. Mane could play through the middle. He could play out the left. And Darwin's similar. But Darwin's a very good one-touch finisher. And at the moment in our team, we don't have the wide creativity to make Darwin a one-touch finisher in the box. We just don't have it. Our wide players at this moment in time are not really creative wingers, So they're looking at it and thinking, right, if we haven't got creative wingers, we're not getting the best out of Darwin through the middle. So what we need to do is maybe Darwin's got the pace, the agility, the movement, and the skill set to play in that left-hand side and be quite comfortable. He picks up in wide areas. He runs with the ball really well, and he looks comfortable out there. It's not like he looks nervous or uncomfortable in that position. And I think that's why they brought Gakpo in through the middle. And then you got Salah out on the right. At the moment, it's sort of falling into place for Jurgen, and it's working a little bit right now. It's something he might want to develop into next season when we have pre-season. I like to see how he develops his front three. Now, I did say, everyone was saying like the squad depth, Gakpo, Jota, Salah, Darwin, Diaz and Bobby. That's 6 forwards, yeah? I did say there's no way we're going to have 6 forwards this time next season. Which is ain't. That you can't have 6 happy forwards in a team when we use 3 of them every game. Because one's never going to make the squad. Yeah, you have 9 on the bench, but you can't have 3 forwards on the bench. You've got to have a goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, or fullback. So one forward is always going to miss out. So we're looking like Darwin, Diaz, and Salah, I think, is Liverpool's best front three. Jota at the moment, I think we've got an issue with Jota at the moment. And then you've got Jota and Gakpo on the bench. Now, Jota and Gakpo off the bench are very good impact players. They're both quick, skillful, can finish. They're very good impact football players. I think that's the way Liverpool are looking to go next season. I think Liverpool next season are definitely looking at that front three. And I don't think Liverpool should be in the market for a forward. Just let Bobby go. You've replaced him already. I don't want Liverpool in the market for a forward next season. It's pointless and makes no sense. It makes 0 sense to get a forward in the summer. We've got positions we need to cover more desperately than covering Bobby. Because if you look at the way we play, Bobby at this moment in time is the cover. And I think that's the way we're going to go. I think that is the way we're going to go. And we're going to get onto the Mason Mount stuff in a minute, but we've refreshed our forward line quite well. You know, I think I saw a chat right now. Big up social joins. You actually refreshed your front three. I think Salah, Bobby are gone. You have Jota, Diaz, Darwin, Gakpo. I think you're selling Salah, mate. Now this is something I've been talking about as well. I did say, I think in my last video, guys, that I wouldn't be surprised if Salah and Bobby both went this summer, and it's the end of that famous front three. You know, because if you do look at like who we bought recently in the last 18 months to 2 years, you've got Jota in there, Darwin, Diaz, and Gakpo. Yeah, so there's four new attackers in the last 2 years. Then you got an Elliott on the bench as well, and a Carvalho as your young guys as well, who can fill in games, you know, here and there throughout a season. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting because Salah is the one I'm concerned about. The Salah stuff's mad as well because, as we know recently, Salah's breaking all records. Salah's breaking all records. All records. Again, he got 20 goals. The goal against Wolves in midweek was his 20th of this season in all competitions. He's got 29 GA this season. 29. But for me, he's playing poorly. I can't work it out. I'm sure you guys in the chat are exactly the same as me. Now, in the summer, like all this year, the last 12 months, we've all been sitting here and going, right, this ain't not right with Mo. Mo's not quite the same Mo we used to. But then again, he scores 20 goals. And it's hard to criticise the man when he's doing what he's paid to do. You know what I'm saying? So Salah is paid to put the ball in the back of the net, right? He's not paid to be creative or anything like that. He's a goal scoring winger. That is what he does. And again, he's got 20 goals in all competitions this season. So Salah can sit at the end of the season and go, you know what, here you go. I've got 20 goals again. I think he's equalled Robbie Fowler's Premier League record. So Salah's going to be a leading Premier League goal scorer in the Premier League era by the end of the season. So Salah's going to be sitting there thinking, what more can I do? I'm your all-time Premier League goal scorer. I scored 20 goals every single season since I joined this club. What more can I do? What more can I do? But my problem with Mo is the amount of times he gives away the ball. All the times he gives away the ball. I don't know about you guys. When I watched the Wolves game, I was watching Mo receive the ball a lot of the time, and he always gives it away. Always. And it's like you'd have a nice passage of play, yeah? You'd have a really nice passage of play, some nice passing in the midfield, out to the forwards, gets to Salah. Salah's first touch is okay, it's not the best, and then he gives it away, and then it goes back. And it's really annoying. It's really annoying. But then he scores a goal. But then he ghosts a lot of the game. Like, I didn't think he was great against Wolves. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't think Salah was that great against Wolves, but he got a goal. It's so hard to judge Mo at the moment. It's so hard to go. So what do Liverpool do? What do Liverpool do at the summer? Do they look at Mo and go, right, Mo's not the Mo we know of 2 years ago. He's just not. Age is going to be a factor in that. You know, he's going to be 31 going into next season. So age is a factor, right? He's not going to be as explosive. He's not going to be as quick and as powerful as he once was when he's 27, 26, 28. Just the fact of life, yeah? When you're an athlete. Otherwise, if that weren't the case, if age weren't a problem, you'd have footballers all playing into their 50s, wouldn't you? Age is an issue. So what do Liverpool do with Mo? Do they look at it and go, but he's still our goal scorer? No, they look at the end of the season and go, right, Mo's got over 20 goals. Mo could even get 30 goals in all competitions yet. You know, Mo's got plenty of time to score 10 more goals this season. He could still score 10 more goals this season. He's got plenty of time and get over 30 goals again this season. It'd be mad. And then we're still sitting there and going, but was he great? But was he great this season? That's that. You know, you watch a lot of Mo's games, and we have been on this show many times, guys. You guys in the chat as well go, Mo's Mo's ghosting in games. Like, what did Mo do today? He's ghosting in games. He's ghosting in games, and we're all getting fed up at times. But then he goes and scores 20 plus goals again this season. I don't know what we're doing, Mo. I think the club have got to sit down and really work it out. If a big fee comes in from Mo Salah in the summer, I don't know how the club turn it down. If PSG, so the rumours are that PSG really fancy Mo Salah, and 70 million would be the price to get it done. If Liverpool received 70 million pound for Mo Salah, I don't know how Liverpool say no to it. I don't know how you say no to it. I really don't. If anyone comes in for Mo Salah and bids 70 million, guys, I don't know I don't know how the club say no to it, because they're not going to get that the season after. They're just not, because he'll be a year older and whatever, and more wear and tear on the body. I don't know how you can. It's a difficult one with Mo. It really is, but he's a class player. He's a class player, and I'm not sitting here and saying Mo's not a class player. You know, this is where we've got to have real discussions. You know, people, I see it on Twitter all the time. How can people slag? How can content creators slag Mo Salah off when he's got 20 plus goals again? Well, you can, because Ronaldo got 26 goals for Man United last season, and every Man United fan wanted Ronaldo gone. I mean, you can. You can. It's not like Mo's been. This is the sticky position we're in. Mo's not been great this season. Sorry, John, I missed your super chat. I'll go back and find it, man. It's just not. It's sticky, man. I don't know what to do. I'm confused over the whole Mo saga. I really am. Big up John Conway. Thank you very much, man. Big up Jamie. How are you and the family? We're all good, man. Doing well, you know. We're actually in a really good space. The family are really good. We've got a holiday coming up. Everything's really good. Everything's really good. Everything's going good at this moment. I think Madrid will buy and pick up their phone and call you guys and offer 60 to 80 million for Mo. It's hard to say no to it, though. Do you know what I mean? Seems like we all moan a lot. Yeah, Scouts African. Look, as fans, we're going to moan. Do you know what I mean? You are right, though. We are moaning bastards. Look at that. Selmo put Diaz on right and Sound and Pepe Angel with the smiley face. I won't mind Mason Mount. He'll come on for. Yeah, big up Jan. Big up Wolf in the house. Hope you're doing well. You should have heard Arsenal sports last season. Man United sports always. We got Albert. How you doing, Albert? Bojan Barnes in the house. How you doing, my friend? Good morning, Jamie. Big up chat. Guys, make sure you go and subscribe to Bojan Barnes' channel, guys. Go and check him out. Go and check out his channel, guys. We're all one big family, so make sure you go and check him out. I would appreciate that. Bajan, I'm going to make you a mod, man. So you can put your link of your channel in the chat now if you want to, my friend. Yeah, I didn't see the PSG angle. Good shout. I can see PSG coming in. Yeah, look, PSG to Mo to PSG makes sense commercially for PSG as well. Remember, Messi's going to leave at the end of the season. They're not quite sure what's going to happen with Mbappe, and you've got Neymar as well, who Chelsea are apparently looking to buy. And you know, what you got to remember with Mo as well. Mo's likeness sells a lot. Yeah, Mo's the king of the Arab world. You know, he's the king. You know, and that part of France and everything, and Paris and the owners. It's not just what he does on he will sell merch. You know, it's Mo Salah. His likeness. Yeah, we all talk about Messi and Ronaldo, their likeness and all that, how much they sell just being Messi and Ronaldo. I think we underestimate how much Mo Salah sells, man. I think we all underestimate how big Mo Salah is commercially. He's huge. man's on front magazines of GQ, for goodness sake. He's in Time magazine. You know, his commercial property is massive, and that's what people buy it for as well. It's not all about what they always do on the pitch, guys. It's their commercial as well. I like Jared Bowen, number one criminal. I've always liked Jared Bowen. Big up Chris. Hi Joe, you look well. Firmino leaving the summer is confirmed. Yeah, man. Unfortunately, but big up Chris. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Mo Salah's agent says he's staying. Interesting. So on the Mo Salah's agent stuff, apparently there was rumours that Mo Salah had a Champions League clause in his contract that if Liverpool didn't make it, he could leave the club, and that is what the agent said is not true. I think that is where the agent come out and said, no, that part of what everyone's saying about this Champions League, thing in his contract is not true, and he put that to bed. But it didn't say that he won't leave Liverpool at the same time. Do you know what I mean? It's not Mo's fault. He's been shit this season as well. Just not this season, man. I mean, if we go back from after AFCON last January, to January just gone, it's a 12-month cycle. Look, you are right as well. It's not all Mo's fault. You've got to look at the team as well. Like, we brought Darwin Núñez in, and for some reason, someone had the bright idea to make our goal-scoring superstar a wide creative player to help Darwin Núñez score goals. Whoever had that bright idea at the beginning of the season should have been sacked. That is a terrible idea. Can you imagine going to your number one goal scorer, who's the reason you are where you are, and going to him, right, we don't want you to score many goals no more. We want you to create for the new guy. Can you imagine that? I bet Mo was a little peed off, to be fair. I bet Mo was sitting there going, why? you do know I get 30 goals a season, yeah? And you want me now to be the creative outlet for the new striker that you're buying in? I wouldn't be surprised if Mo had the ump. I wouldn't be surprised if Mo had the ump. Big up, Bajan. Big up. Yeah, Bajan, let us know when you're live, man. Bajan, when you want to get together, we'll do something together, man. We'll do something together. He's like Son for Tottenham, actually. Massive in Asia. Yeah, exactly. The Egyptian king, Mo as Arab World shirt sales. Exactly. His commercial property of Mo Salah is huge. As I keep saying, the man was on the front cover of GQ. It was in Time magazine. The man is, the man's. I think because he plays for Liverpool, we don't talk about it enough. I don't think people talk about it enough, especially us Liverpool fans. I don't think we talk about how big commercially Mo Salah is. You could put him up there with some of the biggest names in world football commercially. You really can. You really, really can. But we don't talk about that nearly enough. Maybe we should. Maybe we should actually appreciate what we got at times in Mo Salah. Not only as a player, but as a person, a man, all that sort of stuff. Maybe we should actually sit there and actually think about and appreciate what we got with Mo. Mo didn't want to leave this football club. Mo don't want to leave this football club. I don't even think Mo wants to leave next season. I really don't. I think Mo Salah is very happy staying at this football club. I think he's settled. He loves the team. He loves the manager. And what I do love about Mo is a fighter. Mo wants his team to succeed. Even with his new contract, you can tell Mo on the pitch at times is like arguing with his teammates because, he wants the best for the team. Now, at the same time, when you get older, your body maybe can't do what it used to do. So maybe that's what Mo's feeling at the moment. Mo's like, I can't quite do what I did when I was 27. That's not there at the moment. But it don't stop him being a decent footballer for us. But yeah, his commercial property of Mo Salah is massive, and I don't think we appreciate it enough. I really don't. But other teams will, and that's my issue. Now, PSG will look at it and go, if we can bid 70 million for Mo Salah, right? And people will go, that's too much money for a 30-year-old. Is it? Look at the transfer market these days. Look at the transfer market. Mo's got like 4 years left in his contract. He's on 350 grand a week. He scores 20 plus goals every single season, and still now. And he's going to go to a weaker league where he'll probably score even more goals. 70 million's a bargain. You know, it's a bargain. And if PSG came in with 70 million, I think Liverpool accept it. I really do. Hopefully, Chris. I agree. I agree with that. I agree. I think you will. There you go, guys. Go and subscribe to Bajan's Barnes' channel. Go and shout him out. Go and subscribe. Go and watch his videos. Go and leave likes. All that's good. Yeah, and Jan's as well. Go and subscribe to Jan LFC Special as well. Go and subscribe over there. Anyone with a Liverpool channel, guys, go and share the love. You know, go and share the love. Mo got 3 million write-in votes for the Egyptian presidential election. He didn't even participate. That's how big he is in the Arab world. Exactly. And I don't think we appreciate that enough here, over here. I really don't. I really don't. He's massive, man. Absolutely massive. Yeah, we'll go, Angel. We'll go talk about Thiago in a bit. Colin says, shocked that everyone wants Mo gone. Another 20 goals while Jota is either injured or never scores. And this is true, Colin. Colin, this is the true fact, as I've been saying. You got Mo has scored 20 plus goals every season for Liverpool Football Club, and he has again this season. My issue is that it's not the goals, it's his form at times. Do you know what I mean? It's his form at times. But yet again, like we've been talking about here, is it down to him or is that down to the team in general? You know, is the team not, are we catering, like, are we not catering to Mo like we used to? You know, you got no Bobby really no more. You got no Mane. Salah's always played with Bobby and Mane. Did they make him look better? Or is this team not suited to the way what we want to play now? Now, as I said, you get Mo in front of goal. You let Mo be on the width of the 18-yard box. Mo's going to be deadly. Keep Mo in the width of the 18-yard box. But what we did at the beginning of the season, we made Mo the creative winger to help the new guy come in to score the goals. Now, that's balmy. That's a balmy concept that should never have happened. Should never have happened. So it could be a mixture of two things, you know. Could be a mixture of Mo's just getting a bit older and he weren't the player he quite is. Or the team ain't adjusted to him. I can't think what it could be. Can't think. Yeah, exactly, Dan. It's all speculation, my friends. All speculation. Big up, my friend. How you doing? Hey, Jamie. Big up, love from India. Big up to you. Is that Pankaj? I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong, but big up to you, my friend. I hope you're good. Hope you're good. Morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the time it's in India. Big up to you right now. I appreciate it. Jamie, only one player in LFC history has scored 20 plus his 6 straight season. That is a legend. Yeah, Rush. That just tells you how good Salah is, though, don't it? And what I want to say on Mo before I get to the Mason Mount stuff, because I'm going to talk about Mason Mount. What I will say about Mo is, again, I don't think Mo's appreciated enough in football generally, not just Liverpool fans, in actual football terms. Here is a man who plays right wing. He's not a number 9. He's not playing through the middle. He's not a striker. He's a right winger. You know, you go and look at Mo's heat map. I know people will go, Mo's a number 9, just playing out wide, right? Actually go to Mo's heat map. Look at Mo Salah's heat maps, guys. His heat maps are always all on the right side. Everything is on the right side, and then he cuts inside to score his goals, yeah? The man's a right winger in a front three, always has been. And he scores 20 plus goals every single season for Liverpool Football Club. He's got 174 Premier League goals or something like that? Do we appreciate this man enough? Does the football world appreciate this man enough? Yeah, I still hear people saying now he's not world class. He's never going to be a Premier League legend. He's never this. He can't be better than that player. He can't be better than that player. Why can't he? How many right wingers in world football at the highest end of football as well, the top level, Premier League, Champions League, how many right wingers score the goals consistently that Mo Salah does? If Mo Salah was Brazilian or French or Spanish or something like that, he'd be called the greatest right winger of his generation. I'm telling you that right now. If he was French, Spanish, Argentinian, Brazilian, everyone would be saying he's the best right winger of his generation. Because he's Egyptian and he plays for Liverpool, no one mentions it. No one ever mentions it. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's just, how can you not love Mo Salah? It's a madness to me. Robin and Bale, or Bale's left wing, weren't he? But Bale was left wing. Robin ain't a goal scorer like Salah was. Probably a better footballer, but he ain't a goal scorer. And Messi, well, Messi's an alien, so I'm not going to count Messi in that. But Robin, I'd have Salah over Robin still as a goal scoring winger. And Bale was left sided. But no one says anything because he's Egyptian and plays for Liverpool. It's mad. It's mad. Has he played well this season? No. Are we allowed to criticise him? Yes. But we've got to respect him. You have to respect what you see. 20 plus goals in 6 seasons at Liverpool at the highest end. No, he's not playing. This is at the top end of football. He's getting match winners. This is not a guy who's just scoring the goal at the end of a 4-0 win. Bale wasn't left-sided at Spurs. Yeah, he was. Played left back. GR. Bale played left back at Spurs, my friend. He played left back at Spurs. And then moved further forward later on in his Spurs career before he left. Mbappe plays left side, don't he? I think the only one can talk to Salah for output is probably Mbappe. Yeah, GR at Spurs, he played left back, my friend. Yeah, Salah is one of the best in his generation. And look, even if Bale did play right wing, the amount of injuries Bale had and the amount of game time he played, I still wouldn't put him in there with Salah conversation. Salah's never injured. Plays every single game for 6 years in a row. For 6 years in a row, Mo plays every game. He's never injured. I think we've got to think about that as well. Vinny Jr. plays left wing for Real Madrid. Vinny Jr. plays left wing for Real Madrid. And Vinny Jr. is new to the scene, right? Vinny Jr. is new to the scene. He's a young guy that everyone's raving about. Everyone's raving about him, right? But Mo was doing that in his career at Liverpool as well. 44 goals, 33 goals, 27 goals, 28 goals in all competitions. Has he got 3 golden boots in the Premier League? Player of the Year. One of the top goal scorers in the Champions League in a couple of seasons. I don't think people talk about that enough. I don't think people talk about that enough. I really don't. Bale was a left back that turned into a left winger. Vinny Jr. plays left side of Real Madrid. And Mbappe plays on the left for France, don't he? But I think he plays on the right for PSG. And Mbappe's special. But we've got to talk about input in games. We've got to talk about the input in games. And Mo's quality, man. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves. I really don't. It's madness. Absolute madness. But let's talk about big up the Cop Council in the house. Hope you're doing well, my man. Hope you're doing well. Go and subscribe to the Cop Council, guys. Please go and subscribe to my man over here. go and give him a shout out. Go and subscribe. Now, when we're talking about players coming into Liverpool, we got Bruno. You're right as well, man. Definitely right. So obviously Bobby's leaving. We know players that are leaving. One player coming in, and that is arguably Mason Mount. Now, I know this Mason Mount story is not going away. I know a lot of fans up and down are a bit like, why Mason Mount? He's terrible. Is he though? Is Mason Mount actually that bad? He's a goal scoring midfielder. How many goal scoring midfielders have we got? Literally. How many goal scoring midfielders have we got? None. I think Mason Mount's a lot better than people give him credit for. Everyone keeps calling him this Henderson upgrade. He's a better footballer than Henderson was at Mason Mount's age right now. And he's a goal-scoring midfielder that Henderson's never been. So I don't understand the Henderson upgrade thing. I don't get that. Goal-scoring midfielder, man. He's got, I think, the same amount of goals as Kai Havertz in the same time they've been at Chelsea playing, or something like that. I think Kai Havertz and Mason Mount have got the same amount of goals. He scores goals, but the problem is Chelsea don't play to his strengths. It's as simple as that. The only one played to Mason Mount's strengths was Frank Lampard when he was Chelsea manager, because he played to Mason Mount's strengths. Mason Mount's a good, and Thomas Tuchel played to his strengths at times as well. Mason Mount's a decent footballer, man. He's a decent footballer. I don't get the criticism. Look, I've always said this, and I will keep saying this. Buy players that fit your system. Buy players that fit your system. There is no point buying. Look at Chelsea right now. They've got how many players? Do all these players fit Graham Potter's system? No. That's why they're struggling. You know, next season, will Chelsea be right up there in the league because they got all these players? Maybe, maybe not. You've got to buy players that fit your manager's system, and I think Mason Mount would fit Liverpool's system in a midfield three. I really do. You know, he's got great work effort. He's got the legs to move around. He's athletic. He's an athlete. He can break into the box from deep and run in and score goals. I think he's a decent player, and he's available a lot of the time. I think he's a decent player. Now, I've been saying it for a while as well. We've got to take this with a caveat as well, guys, because I know everyone wants the world-class players. Everyone wants the world-class players, and I agree with the view of what player we should get in our team, yeah? But you got to remember who our owners are. Guys, you got to remember who our owners are, yeah? You've got to remember who our owners are. Our owners are not going to get the players in we want. Also, you've got to remember who our manager is at the same time. You've got to remember who we have. Mason Mount has 1 year left on his deal. He has 1 year left on his Chelsea contract. The rumours is that Liverpool can get him for £40 million. Chelsea are willing to let Mason Mount join Liverpool for £40 million. That is the rumours right now. Now, if Liverpool are looking at it and going, right, would I get Jude Bellingham for £150 million and nobody else? Or would I rather spend £150 million on three midfielders? That makes us better. I would go that way. I would rather get three midfielders for 150 and a centre back. I'd rather get three midfielders and a centre back for around the 150 million mark than just getting Jude Bellingham and no one else. Because if we get Jude Bellingham and no one else, we're going to be the same next year as we are this year. Because don't forget, we're losing players as well. So we're going to have less squad depth and only one player in. It won't make us much better. Well, I'd rather get like three midfielders and a centre back in. You know, I would love it. Like if we got Jude Bellingham, and then the ownership was like, you know what, you got Jude Bellingham, But here's money. Go and get Mateus Nunes and go and get Mason Mount as well. I'll be like, well, Jesus Christ. But we still need a centre back. Oh, here's some money. Go and get that Benfica lad we've been scouting. Get him in. He's worth 40 mil. Yeah, I'll be like, oh, well, thank you very much. I just don't see that happening. I do think Liverpool go buy players in the summer because Liverpool got no choice. They have to. FSG have got no choice. They know this team needs players now. FSG like money, guys. You got to remember that. They like being profitable. Liverpool won't be profitable after 2 years' time. This time in 2 years, if Liverpool don't buy players this summer and get back to where they need to be. So Liverpool need to go in the transfer market. And that's why I do think Liverpool buy players. Forget all the people that you read about on Twitter, your Dave Maddox from the Mirror and all that saying, with the profit Liverpool made through revenues only being 7.5 million, it's going to be very hard to Liverpool buy anyone in the summer. Don't believe all that bullshit. Liverpool have money, they just don't spend it. Liverpool have money, we just don't spend it. So don't believe all that bollocks, yeah? These same reporters said that we'd never buy Alisson, we'd never buy Thiago. These players were never coming. We weren't going to buy Virgil. The Virgil deal after that summer collapsed. We were never going to go and buy another centre back. Klopp was happy with what he wanted. If we can't get Virgil, he'll look again next summer. And then out of nowhere, we bought him in January. You can't listen to a lot of these people on Twitter. They have no idea. Big up Deej TV. He's got a year left. Yeah, ends in 2024. So he'd be into his last season. So Liverpool got to really sit down and work out what they need to do. Now, I'm not saying Mason Mount's a quality footballer, by the way. I'm not sitting here going, oh, Mason Mount is a quality footballer. I think he's a very good footballer, yeah? I think he's a decent footballer. Remember, players just have to suit your system. We won the Premier League and Champions League with Gini Wijnaldum, Fabinho, Henderson and Milner and Oxlade-Chamberlain, yeah? As our midfield. It's not a world-class midfield, but it won us Premier League and Champions Leagues, yeah? Because them players suited Jurgen Klopp's system. So go and get players that suit the man's system. If Jurgen Klopp wants Mason Mount, the owners should get him Mason Mount. Get the manager who he wants. Yeah, just get him who he wants. And then it's down to the manager. Now, FSG have got to think. FSG, sometimes I think you're a bit thick. Yeah. You must be clever because you're billionaires. Yeah. So you must be quite bright. But sometimes I question your brightness sometimes. Look, you want everyone off your back. Yeah. If you want everyone off your back, go and get Jurgen Klopp the players he wants. Then, if Jurgen doesn't perform with them players that he wanted, that you gave him, then the pressure then goes to Jurgen and off your back. Yeah? Think about it. Yeah? It's not hard to think about. Just go and get the players that Jurgen wants. And then if Jurgen don't do it properly and Liverpool fail the following year, then all the eyes will go on Jurgen because no one can go to FSG and go, all right, FSG didn't give the players Jurgen wanted because no one can say that. He got all the players he wanted, but he failed. FSG, use your loaf. Yeah? Use your loaf. Give Klopp the players he wants. Let's stop being this stupid, yeah? We got Gem in the super chat. My summer transfer dream. Jude, Mount and Tyler Morton. Pick up Tyler Morton. Hang on. Where there's Tyler Morton right there. There you go. I don't see us spending over 100 mil. I do. We almost spent it this summer as well. What everyone's got to remember, because everyone keeps saying, I don't see Liverpool spending over 100 mil. Liverpool spent 97 million this summer. I mean, I think we spent over 100 million in 2 transfer windows this season, the summer and January. Liverpool will spend, right? But I think we've been spending on the wrong players. That's my problem. I think we've been spending on the wrong players. I think I think Darwin Núñez was the right player. So a little bit of stuff. So if you guys watched Grizz Khan and Sam on This Is Football last week, or was it earlier this week? I think it might have been this week. Yeah, it was earlier this week. If you watch Grizz Khan's show and This Is Football this week, you would have seen that a certain financial Liverpool expert on the channel, and he was talking about Liverpool's financials and what these financials mean and stuff like that. And he was talking on there that in the summer, Liverpool tried to buy Tchouaméni and Darwin Núñez at the same time, which shows that there is money there to be spent. But Tchouaméni decided to go to Real Madrid. And then, like he said, Liverpool, everyone's saying they didn't have a plan B. Well, the plan B was Jude Bellingham, but Jude Bellingham weren't allowed to leave. So in the summer, Jurgen Klopp identified Jude Bellingham and Tchouaméni as the players he wanted to buy in his midfield. Now, Liverpool actively tried to buy Tchouaméni and Darwin Núñez in the same window. They could only get Darwin through the dogs. Tchouaméni chose to join Madrid. If Madrid bought Mbappe, if Madrid actually bought Mbappe in the summer, Tchouaméni would be a Liverpool player right now, and so would Darwin Núñez. So, F you, Madrid, you've caused all this. And so there's money there for Liverpool to spend. Now, will Liverpool spend over £100 million on a player? I don't think so. I don't think Liverpool are going to spend over £100 million on a player. But then again, payments are staggered. So, like, what is it? Chelsea have spent 600 million in two transfer windows, yeah? They haven't. That's just the total cost that all the players come to by the time they paid for them. Over the two transfer windows, they spent probably 100 million in upfront costs. In upfront costs, Chelsea have probably spent around 100 million, because there was a story going around that if they sold a certain player in January, they'd have actually made a profit, because they're not spending 600 million upfront. It's not upfront cost. It's packaged over a contract. So if you're buying a player for 100 million and you put them on a 5 or 6 year deal, then that transfer is over the length of their contract. That's what the payments are over. They're staggered over a length of a contract. So Chelsea did actually spend 600 million over two transfers. They probably spent 100 million up front. So if Mason Mount, if Jude Bellingham is worth 150 million, but Borussia Dortmund apparently wants 70% of that up front, then the costs go over the length of his contract. So Liverpool are only paying 70% of Bellingham's 150 million pounds transfer in that first buy, and then the rest of it goes over his contract. That leaves money up still to go and buy other players like your Mason Mounts or your Matheus Núñez or people like that. So it can be done. Yeah, there you go. Chelsea spent around 90 million. Big up Jamrock. Most fans wouldn't believe Jurgen Klopp would want Mount. Why? Because some FSG out fans think they know what type of mind Jurgen Klopp wants. Those fans don't want Mount. I agree. It's definitely, mate. I think Jurgen Klopp and Mason Mount work quite well together in our midfield. I really do. Also, you got to think about it. We're going to need to get. So, you've got the British quota, yeah? You've got that homegrown quota, the English quota, all that to fill in your teams, yeah? Now, you don't have to fill it up. Look at Wolves. Wolves don't fill up their homegrown quota at all because they've got so many Portuguese players in their team. You don't have to fill it up, but you have to have a certain amount of in your quota. Now, if Liverpool go lose the Ox and Nat Phillips is of this world, Reece Williams of these worlds, players like that, that's going to come off the quota. So that's why I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool do buy a homegrown player, because Harvey's got another 18 months, I believe, till he's over 21 to be counted as homegrown. Curtis Jones will be counted as homegrown because he's 22 now. Stefan Bajcetic will be homegrown when he's over 21 because he's had so many years at Liverpool. But they've all got time to wait. They've got years to wait for that yet. Some of the youth team players are not old enough to be homegrown counted yet. So you need that homegrown quota in your team. So Liverpool have to buy a homegrown player in that midfield. And that's why I feel like Mason Mount looks like the obvious choice right now. He's worked with two Mount-like players in the past, and Rice. Yeah, exactly. People are crying about Nunes at Liverpool at Wolves. The people who don't watch Wolves or Sporting Lisbon. I rate Mateus Nunes. I think Mateus Nunes is a quality player. What you got to remember are players look, Mateus Nunes is probably at a club that he doesn't want to play for. Yeah. Like when you saw Mascherano at what, right? When you saw Mascherano at West Ham, when Mascherano and Tevez went to West Ham, yeah, and say you didn't know anything about them, right? You didn't know anything about Mascherano before he went to West Ham, yeah, right? And then you watched him go, why are Liverpool interested in him? He's not really playing that well. Tevez was the star. Out of the two of them, Tevez was the star for West Ham. Mascherano was sort of in and out, hardly played. Sometimes I think the manager was saying he was overweight or he was too slow. I think it was Alan Pardew at the time. And then Liverpool went and bought him, and it was a revelation. So you can't always look at where a player is and go, right, he's not doing it for Wolves. Why are we playing? Why are we buying him? Mateus Nunes has obviously got a lot of quality, and it's one Liverpool really want. Liverpool were looking at him in the summer, man. Jurgen Klopp apparently said no to him. But apparently they changed their mind on that, and it looks like that's one they want to go for. Cooper Miners as well. This could be, yeah. I was going to say this. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the midfield three. It wouldn't surprise me if that's the midfield three. Mount, Cooper Miners, and Mateus Nunes. That wouldn't shock me at all. It wouldn't shock me. Cooper Miners is your Gini and Alden replacement. Mount is your more of a goal scoring midfielder. Mateus Nunes is your Thiago replacement. That's it right there. That three very good footballers. Mateus Nunes is a diamond of a footballer. You can tell in bits and pieces playing for Wolves already how good he is. Cooper Miners is very good. Just go and watch him for Atalanta. People might not think he's that good, but go and look at his stats for Atalanta. His stats for Atalanta are very, very good. His stats for Atalanta are very, very good. Go and check him out. And Mason Mount we know of because he plays over here. And don't forget, guys, that they won't play together. They won't play together. Interchanging, guys. It's part of the squad. They're all better than what we got right now. They all walk in our midfield right now. Big up Jamrock. People use LFC not playing well as to why Nunes and Gakpo aren't playing well. But when it comes to Mateus Nunes, apparently there's an excuse. Is the Jamrock's right, man? Bellingham, Mount, and Nunes. Yeah, Bellingham would be the one. Cooper Miners is he's a better player than people give him credit for. Go and check out his Atlanta. He's actually decent, man. He's decent. He's a decent player. I know a lot of people didn't rate Gini Wijnaldum when we bought him. A lot of people didn't rate Mo Salah when we bought him. A lot of people didn't rate Mane when we bought him. Everyone we're linked with in the past. I remember I was watching YouTube videos on big Liverpool channels of people in the chat and sending in super chats going, why Liverpool after Mo Salah? Where, and all this. And why Liverpool after Gini Wijnaldum? Why are we after him? What's he going to do? He just got relegated with Newcastle. And now people are crying that Wijnaldum left Liverpool. We got to be careful, guys. Remember, it's a system. It's a system. You got to buy players that fit your system. Now, we don't know what system Klopp wants to use next season. We got to work out what Klopp might go away from the system we're playing. He might change it up. He might want to play a different system next season. or he might want to go back to tried and tested high pressing, from the back, from the front, from the midfield through the back. That's why Gakpo is playing false nine right now. There's obviously been a tweak in what we're doing. We've had 4 clean sheets in the Premier League. Yes, we got smashed by Real Madrid. Thankfully, we don't have to play Real Madrid every week, and it's once in a blue moon. And they are the best team in world football right now. So there's little tweaks to our team. Gakpo's playing false nine for a reason. Stefan's come in and taken that sort of Ronaldo role at the moment and playing it really well. You got Fab, who's looking a bit more comfortable of late. Still not great, but a little bit more comfortable. And then you got a Hendo who comes in and just does what Hendo does. So Liverpool gone back to the way they used to play. And it's not quite working because we haven't got the players there at the moment. And that's what Liverpool are looking at. Look, do I want all the world-class midfielders in a team? Yeah. Does it work? No. Look at PSG. PSG have got some of the best players that ever played football in their starting 11. They can't always win their French league. It's about systems. It's about a system that suits the manager at the time. It ain't just about getting all these players in and go, what? Where do we play them all? Where do we put? Like, I've heard people saying let's get Barella and Bellingham. Where do Barella and Bellingham play together in a team? It don't work. It doesn't work. Yeah, I agree, Albert. This is what I've been saying. It's the same with the Mascherano stuff when he was at West Ham. Mascherano looked exactly the same way at West Ham. And then when we bought him, he was an absolute diamond. And I think the Matheus Nunes is the same. I saw bits. You could just tell. You can just tell. He's playing for a team he don't want to play for. He's gone to Wolves for a reason. And there's a reason behind everything. And it's the same reason Mascherano and Tevez went to West Ham. That's what it is. He's a good player. Remember, guys, what we need, we got no hunger in this team at the moment. We got no hunger in this team. We need to get our hunger back. This team is full up. This team is bloated. They don't want another bite to eat. They're stuffed. They're full up. We need hunger back in this team. That's why when Stefan's playing, he looks like a breath of fresh air right now because he's hungry. He wants to strive. He wants to succeed. He wants to make a name for himself. That's why he's standing out in the crowd right now. We need some hunger back in this team. Darwin Núñez is standing out right now because he's hungry. He wants to succeed and make a name for himself. That's why he looks like our best forward right now. Need some hunger in this team again, and especially need it in the midfield. I think Matheus Nunes would be a good signing for us. I really do. I really rate him. Pep Guardiola rates him as well. He's a talented boy. I really like him in our team. Cooper Miners, again, he's got great stats. Look at his stats for Atalanta. He's very mobile, gets around the pitch really well. It's because he's not a fashionable name, but honestly, he could really do the Genie job. He really could do the Genie job. And that's what we want. That's what Klopp wants. He's been missing a Genie player since Genie left. Thiago weren't a Genie replacement because Thiago don't do the Genie role. Thiago's his own man. Not the same kind of player at all. Cook Miners is not a bad player, man. You got to get players that suit your system. And also, guys, we've got to remember who our owners are. We have to remember who our owners are. Now, if we had state ownership like Newcastle and Man City, my transfer dealings would be totally different, guys. If we were state owned like Man City and Newcastle were right now, and FSG sold the football club, my transfer dealings would look a little bit different. I probably wouldn't be talking about your Mounts of the world, I probably wouldn't be talking about that. I'll probably be talking about right. We go to Bayern Munich and buy Kimmich. We go to Bayern Munich and buy Kimmich and make him our defensive midfielder. We go to Borussia Dortmund and buy Jude Bellingham, and he's our number 8. My transfer, I'll be looking at things a little bit differently. But I know who our owners are. I know who my manager is, and I know the system we play. So that's why I'm saying people like Mateus Nunes, Cooper Miners, and Mason Mount would work under who our owners are and who our manager is. Yeah, they're not the sexy names, but they would improve our side. But if we had different ownership, then I'll be looking at different transfer targets, if that makes sense. I'll be looking at totally different way of doing things. Totally different way of doing things. Crazy to think you would let Mo go. Yeah. If we keep playing the way we are and it's not letting him be successful in what he wants to do, then we're wasting his talents. And yeah, those three would do nothing for us, says Edward. Well, we don't know that, Edward, do we? I mean, I would have been interested to see when we bought Henderson, Milner, and players like that, what you would have said as well. Big up Naldo. I hope you're doing well, mate. It's what I'm saying. They're good players, man. They're better than what we got right now. Look, the Fabinho factor as well. We've got the Fabinho factor. Fabinho is... So, again, I heard after the game yesterday by some people I think should know better, but keep saying it anyway, that, Fabinho looked good last night against... so, the match... in the Wolves game, right, people that I know that I thought would know better obviously don't. Keep saying the same line time and time again. Fabinho looked good against Wolves because he had legs around him. I don't want to hear that. Can you stop? Can people please stop saying that? Because it's doing my head in. I am sick of hearing them lines of people. Or people I think should know better on content creators that keep bloody saying it all the time. Get legs around Fabinho and he looks better. I don't want my DM only to look good if he's got legs around him. I am so sick and tired of hearing that all the time. It drives me mad. Get Fabinho, get legs around him, he looks better. No, stop. My DM should have the legs to look good. He shouldn't have to have legs around him to look good. That means he's being carried. Do you not understand what you're saying? That means he is being carried. You want your DM to be carried. It makes 0 sense. He's only good because he's got legs around him. No. Exactly. No one said it against Real Madrid. Same midfield, but no one said it against Real Madrid. Exactly. It's just stop. Can we stop this narrative of Fabinho looked good today because he had legs around him? Can we stop it? Because that means he's being carried. Fabinho was okay against Wolves. I think people were going well over the top. People were like rating Fabinho as an 8 out of 10 performance. I was like, did they watch the same game I did? Yes, he intercepted the ball at times quite well, but then he gave it away with his pass. You know, it's all right intercepting the ball, but if you can't pass the ball after, you might as well not do anything. We're just going so over I saw one. I think this was on Red Men TV actually, when they were saying, it looked like the old Fabinho tonight. Did it? Was I watching a different game? Was I watching a different game? He don't keep the ball. He can't keep the ball. He will look good at times. Look, the Fabinho thing, there will be games, yeah? There will be games that Fabinho will look good in, yeah? Right? It will be. And people will go, the old Fabinho's back. But then there's games against teams like Real Madrid where dead on his feet. You know, we've got to stop. Wolves gave us no attacking problems at all. It was the most comfortable 2-0 win we have had all season. This is another thing no one spoke about either. I don't think we played particularly well against Wolves, but it was the most comfortable 3 points we've had all season. I weren't stressed once watching that game. Was anyone else? I was zero stressed watching that game because we were so comfortable. Wolves were awful. No attacking threat whatsoever. It was a comfortable night. And we're making out that Fabinho was world class again. We got just stop. It's just like Fabinho's just come to a part of his career where he's just not the player he once was. And if you think he might look good, like Big Kev here says, Fabinho looked good when he had legs. He is done in his team. He is good for a game for 4 or 8 games a season. Exactly. Exactly. Same old saying, they brought back after winning 1 game. Exactly. We were shit in the first half. We were, but it was still comfortable. Do you know what I mean? I never thought Wolves would go to score. Fabinho will come back, mate. Chill out. We'll get his confidence back. Nervously. Right. I've been saying, big up Andrew. Appreciate your comments. But I've been, if you're new to the channel, you might not know, but I've been saying this about Fabinho last season. Like a lot of regulars on this channel will know I've been saying this. Last season, I was saying this about Fabinho, and people were going to me, Jamie, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then when it started this season, everyone came back to me and went, oh, shit, you were right. I was saying it last season about Fabinho. Nah, he's got no mobility and no pace, and he's not even 30 yet. How's he going to get better? Seriously, Casemiro is 2 years older than him. 2 years older, and Casemiro runs a midfield on his own. Has bundles of energy. Can move around the pitch, can go up and down. He's 2 years older than Fabinho. That's what I want. I want that kind of number 6 in my team. Casemiro's not being carried. If anything, Casemiro's carrying Man United at the moment. In fact, Casemiro's the signing of the summer. There you go, I said it. It's just, that's what I want. He's 2 years older than Fab, and he's not being carried. Fabinho has to be carried in our midfield at the moment. As I said, he'll have good games. He will have good games. There's no doubt about that. But longevity going on for next season and the season after that, is Fabinho the answer? That's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm on about. You know, is he the answer for the next year or two? It might be all fine this year. He might go for some good performances and look good again. He might be... Look, Fabinho might be great against Man United and not put a foot wrong for the rest of the season. And he might look excellent. All right, and then everyone will come back at me, I told you Jamie would be back and all that. But then next season he'll be 30, then he'll be 31. Yeah? And he's going to have worse games next season than the season after that because of his age. Yeah? And he hasn't got the mobility and the movement in his body to play the way we want to play. Don't forget, Klopp wants to play a high line, high pressing, counter-attacking football. You can't. Fabinho isn't going to be able to play like that next year, the year after that, or the year after that. You've got to start thinking about a number 6 coming to Liverpool to eventually replace Fabinho. You can't do it when it's too late. You can't do it like next year and we're having the same conversations. Fabinho's all over the shop. His form's out the window again. And we're like, we should have got a number 6 the year before to start slowly progressing and replacing players. This is what we don't do enough as a team. You know, we don't do this enough as a team. We don't. I think Klopp knew that he needed to replace Fabinho, and that's why he was going for Tchouaméni. I think Klopp knew. I think Klopp was looking at it and going, yeah, Fabinho's not quite where he's at. I can see something actually, you know, slowing down now. I need the replacement for Fabinho. And I think that's why I was looking at Tchouaméni. I really do think Tchouaméni was not the Fabinho replacement straight away, but it would have been long term. It would have been long term, and I think that's the player he's looking at. I think Klopp knows. Look, Stefan's come into the team and he's not come out of it yet. Yeah, Fabinho's come back in. They're sort of like Stefan and Fabinho sort of playing like that double pivot next to each other, where Stefan He's sticking very close to Fabinho, so Fabinho don't get isolated. Yeah, but Stefan's staying in this team right now. He's not coming out of it. Because if you take Stefan out of this team right now and leave Fabinho a little isolated, Fabinho hasn't got the legs. So that's what I'm saying. Fabinho's looking decent because you're putting people like Stefan alongside him, Harvey Elliott alongside him. So you put Stefan and Harvey Elliott alongside Fabinho, who've got the legs, yeah, got the legs to get around and be more mobile. And then Stefan is not really leaving Fabinho's side. He's staying close with Fabinho. That helps out Fabinho more. But I don't want him to be carried. I want our DM to be a DM. I want our DM to be the controller of the midfield, the anchor point of the midfield, controls the game, like a Casemiro does, like a Rodri does, like a Thomas Partey does for Arsenal. That's what I want. That is what I want. Look at the three best teams in our league this season. They've all got the three best DMs. The three best teams in the league this season have all got the three best DMs. Thomas Partey, Rodri, and Casemiro. There's a reason they're 1, 2, and 3 in the league. Every team needs a quality number 6. Every team needs a quality number 6 the way football's played now. Arsenal got Thomas Partey. Man City have got Rodri. Man United have got Casemiro. Is there any wonder they're in the top 3? That's why, man. Every team needs a quality number 6. It's just the way football is now. It would have been Tuchel, then Jude next to him. Yeah, I really think that was the plan. I really do think Tuchel, if Madrid got Mbappe, Liverpool would have got Tuchel, and then this summer coming, Liverpool would have got Jude Bellingham, and it would have been Jude Bellingham and Tuchel in our midfield, and that would have been the 2 midfielders over the 2 years. That was the plan. That was the whole plan from the football club, but it went awry because Mbappe stayed at PSG. Bloody hell! Which one is worse for Fabinho or Hendo? Both. I can't really. Yeah, Hendo's doing my head in. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, exactly. I agree. No, Fab won't ever be the same player as a couple of years ago. Exactly. And I'm not dissing Fab here. I'm not saying I love Fabinho, but I'm just looking at it as a fan, guys, and looking at the fact that he's not the same player. And the defensive midfield position in any team in Europe right now is such an important position for that team. That sitting midfielder who controls the game, controls the tempo of a game is such an important position. Really is. The number 6 position now, I do think if you want to be successful as a team, you've got to have a quality defensive midfielder. You just do. And you look at City have got a Rodri, Tottenham have got a Arsenal got a Partey, and Man United have got a Casemiro in our league. You've got to have if you're going to be successful, you do need a quality 6. And Liverpool don't have that right now because Fabinho, unfortunately, ain't the Fabinho when we won the Champions League and Premier League. That Fabinho was arguably the best number 6 around for 2 years. You could put him up there with Casemiro. For them 2 years, Fabinho was up there with Casemiro. He didn't need legs around him. He controlled the game. He controlled the tempo. He was aggressive. He wins every tackle. His reading of the game was excellent. He hardly made any fouls. That Fabinho was out of this world. Unfortunately, that's not the same Fabinho right now. It just ain't. And it probably won't ever be again. As I said, he'll have spells in games where he looks good. But otherwise, it's never going to be the same Fabinho, which is a shame. It's a shame, but we have to move on. There's nothing wrong with it, guys. What Liverpool have to do now is target a better number 6. A better number 6 that's going to give stability for the future. That's what Liverpool need to do. It's up to Liverpool now. Things move on, guys. Things move on. Yeah, I know. Bobby set the lead, man. Yeah, that's true, Al. But I'm just referring to like the top 4 of the league at the moment. Like them 3 teams have got 3 of the best DMs in the league, don't they? Yeah, and Brighton have Caicedo. You know, Brighton are probably up where they are, and Fulham are Polina. This is true. Look where Brighton and Fulham are. Look where Brighton and Fulham are in the league. Would Brighton and Fulham be anywhere in that league without them two in their DMs in their team? You need quality DMs, man. You need quality DMs. Yeah, they just they're the most almost the number 6 position now is almost the most important position in your team when you're building your squad. Everyone's looking at quality number 6s. Who can I get in? Bayern Munich have got Kimmich. You know, you've got to look at great number 6s are so important. You've got to get the right number 6 in. And we're having a lot of issues in where we are now. Like Stefan's playing number 6 sometimes. Hendo's playing number 6 sometimes. Fabinho's playing number 6 sometimes. Why do you reckon we are where we are in the league? It's a part of the reason, guys. We haven't got that outstanding number 6 right now that's controlling our games, controls the midfield, controls the tempo, is aggressive in the tackle, who reads the game, who sets up counter-attacks, you know, who stops counter-attacks. We haven't got that DM at the moment. Fabinho was that, and he was fantastic at it, especially when we won the Premier League. There was arguably no better DM apart from Casemiro in world football at the time. His reading of the game was outstanding. He barely made any fouls, always won the tackles, gave a good pass. He had that lovely ball over the top. You know, it was awesome. But right now, that's not there. That is not there. That is not there. And unfortunately, time don't stay still, guys. Time don't stand still. You know, time moves on, and yeah, we need a quality 6 for me. We do need a quality 6. Now, if Fabinho somehow went back to Fabinho of 3 years ago, next season, I'll sit here and go, thank God for that. I'll take everything back. I was wrong, but I just don't see it happening, guys. I just don't see it happening. Yeah, big up, Mike. So there's been a bit of some speculation about Tonale. I can't pronounce his name, but apparently he's got a market value of 29 million as well, like that 30 million pound price. This is what I'm saying. Apparently he's worth. He's happy to be sold for around 30 million quid. Yeah, 30 million quid. That's what they want for him, right? Taram Nice is worth around 30 million quid as well. Are you telling me there's actually like these players couldn't walk into Liverpool tomorrow? 30 million quid players. Also, you've got a certain Leicester midfielder that's going to be a free transfer next season as well, that no one spoke about yet as well. Do we go for him? Now, a certain Leicester midfielder is a free transfer. He's not signing a new deal with Leicester. He's going to be a free in the summer. Do Liverpool go after him as well? You know, there's a lot of players out there that don't cost a lot of money that are very, very good footballers. Klopp's money range is 30 million, so we don't have superstars. We have a bunch of 50 million pound players. Klopp makes 100 million pound players. Exactly. Go and get players like Tonaloni and players like that, and bloody Kone and what's the other one? And Turam. They're all around the 30 million pound mark. That's all their clubs are asking for them. Their clubs are literally asking for 30 million pounds for these players. It's no money. We're like, what are we doing? Just go and do the business. Just go and do the business. This is, yeah. I think Borussia Mönchengladbach said he's 26 million. That's what will get him. So I keep being told there's no good players out there for good value anymore. Well, it is, ain't there? There is. But it's all up to Liverpool now to go and get these players. Exactly. Mike, I'm with you. I'd rather spend 150 million for Jude on 5 midfielders. It'd make us better. I don't think Jude goes anywhere in the summer. I've always been saying this. I think Liverpool can afford to get like 3 or 4 midfielders this summer and get Jude the following year. That'd make us a much better team. Much better team. Big up, yes, 96. This is why I have to get it right for the DM, not just buy anyone. Exactly. The number 6 position is so. This number 6 position is so important. Why do you reckon Liverpool were looking at Caicedo? Why do you reckon there was reports of Liverpool looking at Caicedo? Because Liverpool know they need a proper 6. You have to get a proper 6. Even Liverpool know that. Yeah, I mean, we have to do a lot of shopping. There's no doubt about it. I'd be happy because I understand we can't do it all in one transfer window. Remember, guys, we have to be really realistic. We know our owners are. We can't do it all in one transfer window. So if Liverpool went and got 3 midfielders and one centre back in the summer, I'd be happy because I've got to be realistic about it. That's from my realistic point of view. Who our owners are, who our manager is, the way we buy players. If we got 3 midfielders in and one centre back, I'd be happy with that. And then in January, we can look at a right back maybe or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But we know we can't do everything in one window. Caicedo was brilliant against us, made most of the tackles in the match. He would be world class, but it's the price for him. Yeah. Brighton are where they are because of him. Polina at Fulham, and same reason. This number 6 position, man, is so important. I know we're all talking about number 8s for midfield, like a box-to-box player, a goal-scoring midfielder. I really do think we got to think about a number 6, a legit quality number 6. James, did you check the Kieran Maguire thread on finances? FS shows to reduce the club's debt by 40 million last year instead of buying a midfielder. At the end, we had 30 million, so Melo loan. Yeah, I read that. Yeah, that was terrible. I don't know why they did that because they weren't. I only thought they were going to do that because they were selling the football club, but apparently that's not the reason. So they didn't sell the football club in the end. So I have no idea. It's mad. They can't do that again. That is for sure. Right, guys. Big up to everyone. Thank you for joining me. That was a good chat, guys, about transfers, Mason Mount situation. But, we've worked it out now that we need a proper number 6, don't we? We have worked out that we need a proper number 6. That was a good video, guys. Good chat with you guys. I'll be back tonight at 6 p.m, guys, for another video. Back tonight at 6 p.m. We're going to be talking about FSG getting apparently some money in. So they're a media investment company that own Formula One. Apparently very interested in putting some cash into Liverpool Football Club. So we're going to talk about that at 6 p.m. And then we're going to talk about Bobby Firmino's greatest moments as a Liverpool player as well. So, guys, I want you to work out your best Bobby Firmino moments and tell me at 6 p.m. So we're going to talk about that as well. Till then, guys, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you at 6 p.m. tonight.